Oh snap, Glaze is going live.
Just got my copy of Beyond Lucky by Brian Glaze Gibbs. Thank you so much for sending me my personalized autographed copy. I've had the pleasure of knowing you for a long time, so I'm really excited to get to know some of your stories and what made you you and how this redemption came about. I know you're a changed man, and I'm looking forward to seeing the whole process of how it happened. Thanks.
Have you checked your tire pressure today?
I don't have a flat.
Have you checked your blood pressure today?
No, I don't feel sick.
It's a distance about good from the window to some mountain cliff. This is a cliff outside the window over on the side. And this guy had some vicious pit bulls in that private house. That it was a private house owned. And I tell you, man, that's what I say to this day. I say, Allah bless me, because I jumped from that distance in midair and jumped at least, I would say about 25 feet or probably more.
So he jumped out into the courtyard, over the wall, and got away.
Detectives and emergency service went to arrest someone on a warrant for homicide, and when they went to the door, he opened fire with a machine gun.
Here's a list of all the six. 40-year-old Mary Buckley, shot in the mouth. 55-year-old John Ridge, treated and released last night. 42-year-old Donald O'Sullivan, who suffered a graze wound to the head. 46-year-old Thomas McCarron, shot in the neck. The most seriously injured, 26-year-old John O'Hara, shot in the face and may lose the sight in his left eye.
I went to a project building not too far away from there. And within no more than 3-4 minutes, it was at least about 15,000 police cars.
Well, now Davis is accused of trying to kill again. His target this time, 6 police officers. He gunned them down last night, jumped out a window in the South Bronx, and is on the run.
Police is on a manhunt from Manhattan to the Bronx, looking for Larry Davis. Fuck the streets, so we had to close down spots, man. Being honest.
Coming down on the bus, 41 bus, and the whole Webster Avenue after Fordham Road was shut down.
I'm looking off the project building roof, and I can see everything. So I said, I gotta go check to make sure they ain't kill my sisters, though. So what I did, I came before they could start getting, they were trying to get people off the street. Get off the street, get out here and scaring people off the street. So I went down and I just took the risk. I put on a coat. I went to a person's house in that building that I knew. I got a coat, some glasses. I changed the hat. I went down, went back to the apartment building. And right where they were bringing in the other cops and stuff, and through the front door of the hospital, I stood behind Mayor Koch, Benjamin Ward, to make sure that my sisters and came out of there alive.
Days on the run, Larry Davis would eventually turn himself in the full light of the media, and return for his safety.
The detective ran right in the apartment. There was no way to stop him. He just took off. We had to go in.
I think he should be shot by all those 9 cops, because this city's going to hell.
He actually engineered his own surrender in the full light of the press. He knew that the media was there, that what would happen is that the police would not be able to vent their anger on him.
So we were very surprised and certainly very pleased to find out that he had survived his ordeal with the police. And I think
Good day, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Just in case you're joining me for the very first time, I'm your host, the one they call Brian Glaze Gibbs. This is my ministry. What I do is I talk about the good, I talk about the bad, I talk about the ugly. The objective is, as far as my ministry, is how do I stop the individual that's at risk, to get them to understand it's not too late. It's not too late. Don't jump off that porch and get yourself in a world of trouble that's going to be costly, that's going to cost you your life, that's going to cost you your freedom, that's going to cause you pain and suffering. Listen, it's plenty of opportunity that's out there. You don't have to be part of no gang. You don't have to get out there and think you tough, think you bad. Life is worth living. Find your purpose in life. Strive to be better than the day than you was tomorrow. Then guess what? You can have an abundant life. Listen, Google Brian Glaze Gibbs and see who I once was. If I can change, anybody can change. I had a rough childhood and everything was self-inflicted I did to myself. Between the age of 14 and 24, I had a death wish. I had mental illness. You know what? And I had to get help. It cost me 15 years out of my life that I cannot get back, man. Listen, hit the like button, subscribe, share, get your signed copy of the Beyond Lucky book, The Brian Glaze Gibbs Story, a true story of crack, money, murder, and redemption. Today, what I'm going to talk about this individual, Larry Davis. Larry Davis, during 1986, that's the first time I ever heard that name. I was incarcerated, fighting a murder charge. And all throughout the news, you talk about ABC News, NBC News, WOR, WPIX, Fox News. They was talking about this individual got into a big shootout with a bunch of police. They was coming to arrest him on a warrant of 4 murders of drug dealers. And right now, as they went to go arrest him, they had a SWAT team. They got into a big shootout. And right now is it turned into a manhunt because how the heck this one individual battling an army of police? He battled an army of police. They come and they got him surrounded. And he blasted his way out. And to me, everybody was glued to their TV trying to see what the heck is this? How this happened? This one individual, 19 years old, going against a whole NYPD police department. And once again, folks, like I say, he won that battle. And right now is on November 19, 1986, 9 New York City police officers with nearly 20 outside the building raided the Bronx apartment of Davis' sister. In the ensuing shootout, Davis escaped uninjured, and all 6 officers who had been shot survived. Police explained the raid as an attempt to question Davis as a multiple murder suspect. Finally obtained an arrest warrant for that. And re-explained the raid is an attempt to arrest him. On a massive manhunt, 17 days, he was traced to a Bronx building and hid in an unknown family unit. Telephoned by the police, he claimed to hold his occupant hostages. After a night-long negotiation, convinced by media present that police would not shoot, he surrendered peacefully. Davis' legal defense, led by William Costa, contend that the raid was a pretense to murder Davis for knowledge of officer alleged complicity in a linked drug sale and to punish him for abandoning his own drug dealing under them. On March 1988, on jury trial for killing of 4 drug dealers, allegedly the 1986 raid reason, Davis was acquitted. Then in November, as to the 9 raiding and 6 shot officer, his acquittal of aggravated assault and attempted murder triggered widespread outrage. About 1,000 New York City police officers publicly demonstrated, yet for many others, Davis became a folk hero. Still, others thought of him as an unsavory character, but probably truthful about the police in the shootout. Serving 5 to 15 years on the November 1988 conviction for illegal gun possession, Davis was acquitted of another alleged drug dealer murder. But in a third murder trial about another alleged drug dealer, Davis was convicted and sentenced to 25 to life. After converting to Islam, he changed his name, maintaining his innocence. He continued to allege that police had framed him. A permanent view attributed to his infamous acquittal rather to racial bias by the provincial Bronx jury, but particularly with the Mullen Commission 1990 exposure of widespread criminality, including drug dealing and violence by New York City police officer, and then a 2003 independent documentary Favoring Davis' explanation, his story continued to provoke divided reaction. So you sit back and you think about right now, man, and people don't understand, yeah, okay, Larry became like a folklore, a folk hero, whatever. But once again, I can remember right now was when he came to Rikers Island. And once again, like, man, he had it bad on both sides because once again, you had the COs beating him up, putting glass in the food, taking advantage of him. And then you had inmates. Inmates used to be dogging him, throwing piss at him, throwing feces at him, going at it, like, beating him down or whatever. And I can remember in one particular incident, Meatball, Bernie Bernard Nichols, Cat, nephew, because they was in high protection, like 1A, 1B, in HCM. And I can remember right now was, guess what? Him and Meatball got into an altercation. And right now, for some reason, Meatball went by him. And it's like Larry had his handcuffs still on. And he grabbed Meatball. And right now, it's like literally choking him. Almost choking the life out of Meatball. Because that's how strong and powerful he was. And you know what? A few people came over there and broke it up or whatever. But once again, like I say, folks, listen. Like when you look at it, this kid went to jail when he was 19. Even right now, it happened in 1986. He later died, in Shawanga in 2008. But when you sit back and look at it, 19 years old, his whole life, and then you turn around, you die in prison, never got back out. And then you look at the abuse and the trials and tribulation that he went through. You could only imagine, like the hell. Like, it's a different right now. People say when you die, you're going to hell. But imagine being alive going through hell. Imagine going through and surviving everything that he survived. And then when you get inside, you survive a shootout with NYPD, a shootout. And then you turn around, you get inside, then you got a battle with both, the COs and the inmates. So you living in hell on top of hell. How do you have any wins? So when you look at it and you look at all that situation or whatever, and like I told you right now, folks, like I say, nobody's no angel. I was no angel. He was no angel. But what we got to get to understand right now, man, listen, man, we as human beings are better than that. We got to start showing genuine human compassion and treat people with love, respect. That's what we got to learn to do, man. Am I my brother keeper? Yes, we are. How do we learn and teach people how to do better and stop picking that brick, throwing at that prison wall for absolutely nothing? Like I said right now, guess what? With the Larry Davis story, I think it's a powerful story. Those of you who haven't checked it out, make sure you go check it out. Like I told you right now, to me, I think right now, November 19, 1986, guess what? That's when that nightmare really began. And once again, that nightmare continued up until he died in Shawanga when he was murdered. Hey, peace, love, and prosperity.